The 1960s were a time when Black women turned their kitchens into beauty laboratories. Many practices were dismissed as old wives' tales, but modern science has confirmed what grandmothers always knew. Here are 25 banned 1960s beauty secrets Black women used that scientists now say were genius. Applying pressing oil before using the hot comb was a sacred ritual in Black households throughout the 1960s. Women would warm the oil between their palms and work it through each section of hair before the heated metal comb touched a single strand. This practice was not just about achieving straight hair, it was about protecting the hair shaft from heat damage, adding shine, and preventing the dreaded sizzle that meant your hair was burning. The pressing oils were typically made with castor oil, coconut oil, and petroleum jelly, creating a barrier between the intense heat and the delicate hair. Grandmothers and mothers knew instinctively that dry hair would break under the hot comb, so they coated every strand with care. Modern scientists have since confirmed that these oil barriers reduce thermal damage to hair by creating a protective coating that distributes heat more evenly. What was once dismissed as an outdated practice is now the foundation of heat-protectant technology. Rubbing castor oil into the scalp for thicker hair growth was a practice that Black mothers swore by during the 1960s. Every week, women would part their hair into sections and massage the thick golden oil directly into their scalp, believing it would make their hair grow longer and stronger. The ritual was often performed on Saturday nights in preparation for Sunday church services. Children would squirm as their mothers worked the oil into their edges and temples, promising them that patience would bring results. Scientists initially dismissed these claims as folklore, but recent research has changed that view. Studies show that reicanoleic acid, the main component of castor oil, has anti-inflammatory properties that support healthy scalp conditions. The fatty acids in castor oil also help seal moisture into the hair shaft, reducing breakage and making hair appear thicker. What grandmothers called common sense, researchers now call evidence-based skincare. Slathering petroleum jelly on the face and body as a nighttime moisturizer was standard practice in Black homes during the 1960s. Women would scoop the thick, translucent jelly from the iconic blue jar and apply it generously to their faces, elbows, knees, and heels before bed. The practice was passed down through generations, with mothers teaching daughters that nothing kept skin softer or more protected than a good layer of Vaseline. Dermatologists of the era often scoffed at the practice, warning that it would clog pores and cause terrible breakouts. But Black women knew their skin responded differently, and they continued the tradition regardless of medical advice. Modern dermatology has since confirmed that petroleum jelly is one of the most effective occlusive moisturizers available. It creates a protective barrier that locks in moisture and allows the skin to heal itself naturally. What was once dismissed as unsophisticated had become a cornerstone of scientific skincare. Using cocoa butter to prevent stretch marks during pregnancy was a ritual that Black women practiced religiously in the 1960s. Expectant mothers would rub the rich, chocolate-scented butter across their growing bellies, hips, and thighs every morning and night without fail. The tradition was passed from grandmother to daughter, each generation teaching the next that cocoa butter was the secret to smooth skin after childbirth. Women kept jars of pure cocoa butter on their nightstands, applying it warm after baths to help it absorb deeper into the skin. The practice was often dismissed by doctors as nothing more than superstition. But modern research has shown that cocoa butter contains powerful antioxidants and fatty acids that improve skin elasticity and hydration. While the jury is still out on whether it fully prevents stretch marks, scientists now recognize its ability to deeply moisturize and support healthy skin cell regeneration. Keeping an aloe vera plant on the kitchen windowsill for burns and skin emergencies was common sense for Black families in the 1960s. When someone burned themselves on the hot comb or on the stove, the first response was to break off a thick piece of aloe and squeeze the cool, soothing gel directly onto the wound. The plant was treated almost like a family member, watered carefully and protected from frost. Children learned early that the spiky green plant contained healing properties that no store-bought medicine could match. Women also used the gel as a face mask, believing it would keep their skin smooth and clear of blemishes. Doctors at the time had little interest in this traditional home remedy. Today, scientific studies confirm what Black families always knew. Aloe vera contains powerful compounds that reduce inflammation, promote wound healing, and increase collagen production in the skin. The humble windowsill plant was a complete pharmacy all along. Mixing eggs and mayonnaise for deep conditioning hair treatments was a kitchen beauty secret that Black women perfected during the 1960s. The recipe was simple but remarkably effective. Beat a couple of eggs into a generous scoop of mayonnaise and work the thick mixture through freshly washed hair. Women would then cover their heads with plastic caps and sit under hooded dryers or simply wrap warm towels around their hair to let the treatment penetrate deeply. The smell was admittedly unpleasant, but the results were absolutely undeniable. Hair emerged softer, shinier, and more manageable after each treatment, with reduced breakage and improved texture. Scientists initially dismissed this as messy folklore with no real basis. However, modern research confirms that eggs contain proteins and amino acids that strengthen hair shafts, while the oils in mayonnaise deeply moisturize and reduce breakage significantly. These do-it-yourself protein treatments laid the groundwork for the billion-dollar hair repair industry that exists today. Spreading raw honey on the face as a purifying mask was a beauty ritual that Black women practiced quietly in their kitchens during the 1960s. The golden sticky substance was applied in thick layers and left to work its magic for 20 minutes or more before being rinsed away with warm water. Women believed honey drew impurities from the skin while leaving it soft and glowing with natural radiance. Some mixed it with oatmeal or lemon juice to enhance its effects and create custom treatments for their specific concerns. The practice was often kept within families, shared as a precious secret between mothers and daughters. Mainstream beauty magazines rarely featured such remedies, instead promoting expensive creams and fancy lotions. But modern science has validated what Black grandmothers always knew. Honey possesses natural antibacterial and antimicrobial properties that fight acne-causing bacteria effectively. Its humectant qualities draw moisture into the skin, while enzymes in raw honey gently exfoliate and promote healing. Dabbing lemon juice on dark spots and hyperpigmentation was a beauty practice that Black women relied on throughout the 1960s. The citrus fruit, always available in the kitchen, became a powerful and affordable tool for evening out skin tone naturally. Women would squeeze fresh lemon juice onto cotton balls and apply it directly to areas where the skin had darkened from sun exposure, pregnancy, or scarring. The stinging sensation meant the treatment was working, they believed. Some women mixed the juice with honey or sugar to create gentle scrubs that exfoliated while brightening. The practice was passed down through generations, with each woman adding her own variations to the basic formula. Dermatologists now understand why this worked so effectively. Citric acid in lemons acts as a natural alpha hydroxy acid that exfoliates dead skin cells and inhibits excess melanin production. What was once a simple kitchen remedy is now the science behind many expensive professional brightening treatments. Applying blue magic hair grease to the scalp was a weekly ritual that connected generations of Black women during the 1960s. The distinctive green jar with its powerful scent sat in bathrooms and on dresser tops across the country, passed from mother to daughter like a sacred object. Women would part their hair into sections and carefully apply the thick grease along their scalp, massaging it in with their fingertips to stimulate circulation. The practice was about more than moisture. It was about protection, about keeping the scalp healthy and the hair strong against the damage of styling and environmental stress. Children remember sitting between their mother's legs while their scalps were greased before braiding or pressing. Scientists initially dismissed hair greasing as unnecessary, but research now shows that the oils in these products created barriers against moisture loss and protected hair from breakage. The ritual was rooted in wisdom, not superstition. Placing cold tea bags on puffy eyes was a morning remedy that Black women practiced faithfully during the 1960s. After brewing their morning tea, women would save the used bags, let them cool completely, and press them gently against tired or swollen eyes. The practice required patience and stillness, often performed while lying back and resting peacefully before the day began. Some women preferred black tea, while others swore by chamomile for its calming and soothing properties. The remedy was especially popular on mornings after late nights, or during times of emotional stress when the face showed every hour of lost sleep. Mainstream beauty companies offered expensive eye creams, promising miraculous results. But Black women trusted the simple tea bags their grandmothers had used. Modern research confirms this wisdom completely. The tannins and caffeine in tea naturally constrict blood vessels and reduce inflammation. The cool temperature further decreases swelling. Simple kitchen wisdom became sophisticated science. Soaking in oatmeal baths for skin irritation and rashes was a remedy Black mothers turned to throughout the 1960s. When children developed heat rashes, eczema flare-ups, or mysterious skin irritations, mothers would grind plain oatmeal into a fine powder and stir it into warm bath water. The milky white water was soothing, and it relieved itchy skin almost immediately, providing relief that expensive creams could not match. Women also used oatmeal baths for themselves, especially during pregnancy when skin became sensitive and prone to dryness. The practice required patience, sitting in the tub for at least 15 to 20 minutes to allow the oatmeal to work its calming magic. After the bath, skin felt softer and less inflamed without any harsh chemicals. Today, colloidal oatmeal is recognized by the FDA as a skin protectant with proven anti-inflammatory and moisturizing properties. Major skincare brands now include it in their formulas. Using coconut oil as a head-to-toe moisturizer was a practice that Black women brought from the Caribbean and the South throughout the 1960s. The solid white oil came in jars and had to be warmed between the palms before being smoothed over skin and hair. Women used it on their bodies after bathing, on their scalps before braiding, and on their children from head to toe to keep their skin supple and protected. The tropical scent became synonymous with self-care in Black households. Babies were massaged with coconut oil daily, and mothers believed it prevented skin problems and promoted healthy development. Medical professionals often dismissed coconut oil as too heavy and potentially pore clogging for modern skincare. But scientific research has since validated its benefits. Coconut oil contains lauric acid, which has antimicrobial properties, and fatty acids that penetrate the hair shaft better than many other oils. What grandmothers applied instinctively, researchers now study intensively. Rinsing hair with apple cider vinegar after washing was a secret Black women whispered about during the 1960s. After shampooing, women would mix a few tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with water and pour it through their hair as a final rinse. The smell was strong and unpleasant, but the results were remarkable. Hair became shinier, softer, and easier to manage. The vinegar rinse removed product buildup that regular shampooing left behind and restored the natural pH balance of the scalp. Women swore it also reduced dandruff and itchiness, especially during dry winter months. The practice was rarely discussed outside of close circles because it seemed so unconventional and unglamorous. Modern science now confirms that the acetic acid in apple cider vinegar helps remove residue, closes the hair cuticle for added shine, and creates an environment hostile to the fungi that cause dandruff. Kitchen vinegar became laboratory-validated hair care. Applying witch hazel as a facial toner was a beauty staple that Black women kept in their medicine cabinets throughout the 1960s. The clear liquid with its distinctive herbal scent was applied to cotton balls and swept across the face after cleansing. Women believed it tightened pores, removed excess oil, and prevented breakouts before they started. The practice was especially popular among teenagers dealing with acne and oily skin. Mothers would introduce their daughters to witch hazel as a rite of passage into skincare, teaching them to use it morning and night. The astringent was inexpensive and available at any drugstore, making it accessible to families on tight budgets. Dermatologists of the era rarely mentioned witch hazel in their recommendations. Today, research confirms that witch hazel contains tannins with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that reduce redness and irritation. The simple drugstore staple was ahead of its time. Mixing sugar with oil to create exfoliating scrubs was a beauty secret Black women crafted in their kitchens during the 1960s. The recipe was simple. Combine regular white or brown sugar with a bit of olive oil or vegetable oil and rub it gently over rough patches of skin. Elbows, knees, and heels received special attention, areas where dark, dry skin tended to accumulate and become ashy. The granules buffed away dead skin cells, while the oil provided deep moisture that soaked in as you scrubbed. Women would perform this ritual before special occasions, ensuring their skin looked smooth and polished in their best dresses. The homemade scrubs were far cheaper than anything available in stores and worked just as well, if not better. Scientists now understand that sugar acts as a natural source of glycolic acid, a compound that promotes cell turnover and reveals fresher skin underneath. Grandmothers were chemical exfoliation pioneers. Placing cool cucumber slices over tired eyes was a refreshing ritual that Black women practiced during the 1960s. After long days of work or before special events, women would slice fresh cucumbers from the refrigerator and lie down with the cool rounds resting gently on their closed eyelids. The practice provided immediate relief for tired, strained eyes and was believed to reduce dark circles and puffiness. Children watched their mothers and aunts relaxing with cucumber slices, learning that self-care was important and worth taking time for. The remedy required nothing more than a common vegetable and a few minutes of rest, making it accessible to everyone regardless of income. Beauty magazines rarely featured such simple treatments, preferring to promote expensive products. Modern dermatology confirms that cucumbers contain antioxidants and flavonoids that soothe irritation and reduce swelling. The high water content provides cooling hydration that depuffs tired skin around the eyes naturally. Brushing teeth with baking soda for a brighter smile was a practice that Black families maintained throughout the 1960s. The white powder was mixed with a little water to form a paste and applied to the toothbrush before scrubbing. The slightly gritty texture helped remove surface stains from coffee, tea, and other foods that yellowed teeth over time. Women with bright smiles swore by this simple remedy, keeping a box of baking soda in the bathroom specifically for dental care. The practice was passed from generation to generation, with mothers teaching children that expensive toothpaste was not necessary for a clean mouth. Some added a drop of peppermint oil for fresh breath. Dentists at the time rarely endorsed home remedies, preferring commercial products. Modern dental research confirms that baking soda is a mild abrasive effective at removing plaque and surface stains. Many commercial whitening toothpastes now include it as a key ingredient in their formulas. Applying raw shea butter to skin and hair was a practice that connected Black women to their African roots throughout the 1960s. The thick, yellowish butter arrived in chunks that needed warming and softening before application. Women used it on everything from dry scalps to cracked heels, believing it had healing properties that synthetic products could not match. The butter had a distinctive earthy scent that some found strong and others found comforting and familiar. Mothers rubbed it on their babies to protect delicate skin, and women applied it to their faces to help prevent wrinkles and preserve youthful elasticity. Shea butter was often obtained through community networks, shared among friends and family with connections to West Africa. The beauty industry largely ignored this ingredient for decades. Today, shea butter is recognized for its exceptional moisturizing abilities, its vitamin content, and its anti-inflammatory properties. It now appears in luxury skincare lines worldwide. Saving rice water to rinse through hair was a practice that some Black women adopted during the 1960s, learning from Asian communities and adapting it for their own unique hair needs. After cooking rice, women would strain and save the cloudy white water, letting it cool before pouring it slowly through freshly washed hair. The practice was believed to strengthen hair strands, add brilliant shine, and promote faster, healthier growth. Women who used rice water regularly claimed their hair became thicker and more resilient against breakage from styling and heat damage. The remedy required nothing more than a kitchen staple that would otherwise be poured down the drain. It was the ultimate example of waste not beauty culture. Scientists have since discovered that rice water contains inositol, a carbohydrate that repairs damaged hair and protects it from future damage. The starchy liquid also contains amino acids that strengthen roots and add elasticity to brittle strands. Breaking open vitamin E capsules to heal scars was a remedy that Black women trusted implicitly during the 1960s. The golden oil inside the soft gel capsules was squeezed directly onto cuts, burns, and surgical scars with the belief that it would minimize scarring and speed healing. Women applied the oil religiously, massaging it into affected areas morning and night until scars faded significantly. The practice was especially important for preventing keloid scars, which are more common in Black skin and can become raised and prominent if not treated carefully. Mothers kept bottles of vitamin E capsules in their medicine cabinets, reaching for them whenever skin was damaged. Doctors rarely recommended such treatments, preferring prescription options. Modern research shows that vitamin E possesses antioxidant properties that protect cells from damage and support skin healing. While results on scar reduction are mixed, the moisturizing benefits help keep healing skin supple and less prone to visible scarring. Warming olive oil and applying it to damaged hair was a rescue treatment that Black women performed throughout the 1960s. When hair became dry, brittle, or over-processed from too much heat styling, mothers and grandmothers heated olive oil on the stove until it was warm, but not hot. The golden liquid was massaged through the hair from roots to ends, coating every strand with rich, penetrating moisture. Women wrapped their heads in warm towels or plastic caps and let the treatment sit for an hour or more. The kitchen filled with the scent of warming oil, a smell that signaled restoration and care. Children with damaged edges from tight braids received these treatments regularly, their mothers determined to nurse their hair back to health. Scientists now confirm that olive oil penetrates the hair shaft more effectively than many other oils, delivering moisture and nutrients deep inside. The fatty acids strengthen hair and reduce protein loss during washing. Pouring milk into bath water for softer skin was an indulgence that Black women treated themselves to during the 1960s. The practice connected them to ancient beauty rituals, with stories of Cleopatra bathing in milk passed down through generations. Women would add whole milk or powdered milk to warm bath water and soak for 20 minutes or more, letting the lactic acid work its gentle magic on tired skin. The milk bath left skin feeling silky and smooth with a softness that regular bathing could not achieve. Some women added honey or rose petals to make the experience feel even more luxurious and special. The practice was reserved for special occasions or moments when a woman needed to feel pampered and cared for. Dermatologists now understand that lactic acid in milk is a natural alpha hydroxy acid that gently exfoliates dead skin cells. The fats in milk also provide deep moisturizing benefits that leave skin genuinely softer and more supple. This is ancestral wisdom that anticipated modern skincare science. Spritzing rosewater on the face as a refreshing toner was a practice that connected Black women to their Southern and Caribbean roots throughout the 1960s. The fragrant pink water was kept in glass bottles on vanity tables and was sprayed generously after cleansing or throughout the day when skin needed revival. The delicate floral scent was calming and feminine, transforming simple skincare into a sensory experience. Grandmothers made their own rosewater by steeping fresh rose petals, and they passed the recipe down to daughters who continued the tradition. The practice was about more than skincare. It was about honoring the women who came before, about preserving rituals that connected generations across time. Modern science confirms that rosewater has anti-inflammatory properties that soothe irritated skin, and antioxidants that protect against environmental damage. The gentle, astringent properties help balance skin without harsh chemicals. What grandmothers called beauty wisdom, scientists now call effective skincare. Separating egg whites and applying them to the face as a tightening mask was a beauty secret that Black women shared in whispered conversations during the 1960s. The clear, viscous liquid was spread across the face and left to dry completely, creating a tight, pulling sensation as it hardened. Women would lie still for 15 to 20 minutes, feeling their skin grow taut before rinsing with cool water. The results were immediate. Skin appeared firmer, pores looked smaller, and faces had a lifted, refreshed appearance. Mothers taught their daughters this trick before proms and special occasions, ensuring they looked their absolute best. The egg whites cost almost nothing but delivered results that rivaled expensive salon treatments. Modern research shows that egg whites contain albumin proteins that temporarily tighten skin and minimize the appearance of pores. The practice proves that Black women understood the science of beauty long before laboratories caught up with their kitchen wisdom. Braiding hair with thread to stretch and protect it was a practice that connected Black women directly to their African ancestors throughout the 1960s. Mothers and grandmothers would wrap sections of hair tightly with black thread, creating styles that stretched natural curl patterns and protected delicate strands from breakage. The technique required patience and skill, with hours spent sitting between a loved one's knees while gentle hands worked through each section. The wrap styles could last for weeks, protecting hair while allowing it to grow longer and stronger. Children remember the feeling of their mother's hands in their hair, the quiet conversations shared during these intimate grooming sessions. The practice was about more than hair. It was about connection, about love expressed through careful attention and tender touch. Scientists now recognize that low manipulation protective styling reduces mechanical damage and promotes length retention. But for Black women, science simply confirmed what their hearts already knew. Dabbing lemon juice on dark spots and blemishes was a treatment Black grandmothers administered with cotton balls and patience, and they warned that results took time but were worth the wait. Fresh lemons were squeezed into small dishes, and the acidic juice was carefully applied to areas of hyperpigmentation, acne scars, and uneven skin tone. Grandmothers always cautioned about keeping treated skin out of direct sunlight to avoid making the spots worse. The lemon would sting slightly on broken skin, and that meant it was working according to grandmotherly wisdom. Dermatologists now explain that citric acid in lemon juice acts as a natural alpha hydroxy acid, gently exfoliating dead skin cells and promoting cell turnover. The vitamin C content helps inhibit melanin production, gradually fading dark spots over time. Research validates lemons as a natural skin brightener, and modern experts echo what grandmothers always said about sun protection while using it. Steeping ginger root into tea for upset stomachs was a remedy Black grandmothers trusted completely when children complained of nausea or digestive troubles. Fresh ginger was sliced thin or grated, then steeped in boiling water until the liquid turned golden and the kitchen filled with its sharp aroma. Some grandmothers added honey to make it easier for children to drink, while others insisted the stronger taste meant stronger medicine. The warmth of the tea, combined with ginger's natural properties, often seemed to settle stomachs within minutes. Science has since shown those grandmothers were right. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recognizes ginger as a safe treatment for pregnancy-related nausea. Multiple clinical trials have demonstrated ginger's effectiveness against chemotherapy-induced nausea. The active compounds gingerols and shogals work by blocking serotonin receptors in the gut that trigger nausea. For Black families, ginger tea was affordable and genuinely effective medicine. Hydroquinone skin lightening creams were marketed heavily to Black women in the 1960s as the solution for uneven skin tones, dark spots, and hyperpigmentation. Department stores and beauty supply shops stocked multiple brands containing this powerful bleaching agent, which worked by destroying melanin-producing cells in the skin. Women applied these creams daily, sometimes multiple times a day, desperate for the lighter complexions that society told them were more beautiful and more professional. Over time, many experienced terrible side effects, including permanent skin discoloration, thinning skin, and increased sensitivity to sunlight. The irony was devastating. Women trying to even their skin tones often ended up with worse discoloration than they started with. Some developed blue-black patches that could never be reversed. The Food and Drug Administration later ruled that over-the-counter hydroquinone products were not generally recognized as safe, effectively banning them from store shelves. Keeping aloe vera plants in the kitchen and slicing them open for fresh gel was standard practice in Black households, where grandmothers treated the plant like a medicine cabinet. Those thick green leaves with spiky edges sat in pots on windowsills, ready to be cut whenever skin needed healing. Grandmothers would slice a leaf lengthwise, scoop out the clear gel with a spoon, and apply it directly to sunburns, cuts, dry patches, and wrinkles. The cooling sensation provided immediate relief, and the skin healed faster than anyone expected. Scientists have identified over 75 active compounds in aloe vera, including vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and antioxidants that promote skin regeneration. Research confirms aloe stimulates collagen and elastin production while reducing inflammation. Studies show it accelerates wound healing and improves skin hydration. Black grandmothers understood this plant pharmacy long before the scientific community documented its powers. Mixing honey and lemon for sore throats and coughs was one of the first remedies Black children learned about when they got sick. Grandmothers would heat water, squeeze fresh lemon juice, and stir in generous spoonfuls of honey until it dissolved into a golden elixir that soothed scratchy throats almost immediately. The warm liquid coated the throat, while the honey's thickness provided a protective layer against irritation. Children actually looked forward to this remedy because it tasted good. Unlike most medicines of that era, modern science has vindicated this generations-old practice with impressive findings. Research shows honey has genuine antibacterial properties and can suppress coughs as effectively as some over-the-counter medications. Studies found that honey outperformed placebos and was comparable to dextromethorphan in reducing cough frequency. The vitamin C in lemons supports immune function. What grandmothers knew instinctively about healing has become scientifically proven medicine. Coal tar hair dyes were widely used by Black women in the 1960s to achieve deep, rich colors that covered gray and enhanced their natural beauty. These synthetic dyes, derived from petroleum processing, produced vibrant, long-lasting color that women loved. However, coal tar contained compounds that researchers later linked to cancer in laboratory animals. The chemicals in these dyes could cause severe allergic reactions, skin irritation, and in some cases, complete hair loss. Despite these dangers, federal law treated coal tar dyes differently from other cosmetics, allowing them to remain on the market with only warning labels rather than outright bans. Women continued using these products because they had few alternatives for achieving the colors they wanted. The distinctive smell of coal tar dye filled beauty salons every weekend as women sat for hours getting their hair colored, unaware they were exposing themselves to potential carcinogens. Applying honey masks weekly for a glowing complexion was a beauty secret Black grandmothers kept in their kitchen cabinets right next to the cooking honey. That same golden honey used for biscuits and tea became a facial treatment when spread across clean skin and left to work its magic for 20 minutes. The sticky sweetness felt strange on the face, but grandmothers promised it would draw out impurities and leave skin looking years younger. They would rinse with warm water and reveal complexions that seemed to glow from within. Scientists now understand that honey contains natural hydrogen peroxide, which has antibacterial properties, plus antioxidants that fight free radical damage responsible for aging. Research shows honey promotes wound healing and increases collagen production. Its humectant properties draw moisture into the skin, creating that dewy glow grandmothers achieved. Modern skincare brands now charge premium prices for what was sitting in the pantry all along. Rubbing Vicks VapoRub on the chest and feet for congestion was a ritual every Black child in the 60s, 70s, and 80s knew intimately. When cold struck, grandmothers would massage the salve onto chests, throats, and the soles of feet before covering them with socks. The menthol, camphor, and eucalyptus created a cooling sensation that opened airways and made breathing easier through the night. Kids would fall asleep with that unmistakable medicinal smell filling their bedrooms, a scent that still triggers memories of being cared for during childhood illness. For Black families who could not always afford doctor visits, Vicks was the first line of defense that actually worked. Scientists have since confirmed that menthol provides temporary relief from nasal congestion by stimulating cold receptors in the nose. The practice of applying it to feet was thought to be folk wisdom, but research suggests reflexology pathways may explain why children slept better. Lead acetate. Progressive hair dyes were popular among Black women who wanted to gradually cover gray hair without the dramatic change of permanent dyes. These products were applied daily like a hair treatment, slowly darkening gray strands over time with each repeated application. What women did not know was that lead was a dangerous neurotoxin that accumulated in the body with every single use. The lead absorbed through the scalp and entered the bloodstream, potentially causing brain damage, kidney problems, and serious reproductive harm over time. For decades, these products remained completely legal despite growing evidence of lead toxicity in other contexts like paint and gasoline. Women trusted these familiar products, using them for years without ever suspecting the dangers sitting in their bathroom cabinets. The FDA finally banned lead acetate in hair dyes in 2022, more than 60 years after Black women in the 1960s first started using them regularly. Taking oatmeal baths for soft, smooth skin was a remedy Black grandmothers recommended for everything from dry winter skin to mysterious rashes and irritation. Plain oatmeal from the pantry, sometimes ground into a fine powder using a blender or food processor, was poured directly into warm bath water, where it turned the tub milky white. Soaking in that cloudy water felt strange at first, but the results were undeniable. Skin emerged feeling softer than any lotion could achieve, and itching disappeared almost immediately. Grandmothers used this treatment on babies with eczema, children with chickenpox, and their own aging skin that needed extra care. The FDA now recognizes colloidal oatmeal as a skin protectant, and scientists have identified its anti-inflammatory compounds called avenanthramides. Medical studies confirm oatmeal baths help restore the skin barrier and reduce irritation. Black grandmothers were practicing dermatologist-approved skincare long before the research caught up. Keeping aloe vera plants in the kitchen for burns was a practice passed down through generations of Black families who knew what to do when someone touched a hot stove or splattered grease. The thick, spiky leaves sat in pots on windowsills, ready to be snapped open at a moment's notice. When burns happened, grandmothers would slice a leaf lengthwise and press the cool gel directly onto the injured skin. The immediate soothing sensation was remarkable, and children quickly learned that the strange-looking plant was their friend. Scientific research has confirmed what grandmothers always knew about aloe vera's healing properties. Meta-analyses show that aloe vera accelerates healing time for first-degree and second-degree burns compared to conventional treatments. The gel contains compounds that reduce inflammation, fight bacteria, and promote skin cell regeneration. Studies found that burns treated with aloe healed nearly 4 days faster on average. This simple houseplant provided medicine that science now recognizes as effective. Lye-based hair relaxers containing sodium hydroxide were the most popular method for straightening natural Black hair during the 1960s. Johnson Products introduced Ultra Sheen in 1965, and it quickly became a staple in Black households and beauty salons across America. The chemical worked by breaking down the protein bonds in hair, permanently altering its texture from curly to straight. Women endured burning sensations on their scalps, sometimes leaving with raw, blistered skin that took days to heal. The lye was so caustic that beauticians wore gloves to apply it, yet it sat directly on customers' scalps for extended periods. Children as young as 5 or 6 received their first relaxers, beginning a lifetime relationship with harsh chemicals. The Federal Trade Commission eventually required warning labels on these products, but not before generations of Black women suffered scalp damage, hair loss, and chemical burns that left lasting scars on their heads. Using egg white facials to tighten sagging skin was a kitchen beauty hack Black grandmothers performed with eggs separated right at the counter. The whites were whisked until slightly frothy, then painted onto the face with fingers or a small brush, avoiding the eye area where the tightening sensation would be uncomfortable. As the egg white dried, the skin would feel like it was shrinking. pulling upward in a way that felt both strange and satisfying. Grandmothers would sit still for 15 to 20 minutes, careful not to smile or talk while the mask hardened. Scientists confirm that egg whites contain albumin protein, which temporarily tightens skin and minimizes the appearance of pores. Studies show the protein creates a film that smooths fine lines and provides lifting effects. The vitamins and minerals in egg whites also nourish skin cells. Black grandmothers created their own temporary facelift using breakfast ingredients decades before it became a trending beauty treatment. Castor oil was the cure-all remedy that Black grandmothers kept in every medicine cabinet, and children learned to dread its thick, unpleasant taste. This pale yellow oil was given for constipation, stomach troubles, and anything else Grandma could not quite diagnose. Kids would beg for anything but castor oil, but grandmothers insisted it would clean out whatever was making them sick. The process was simple but memorable, with children pinching their noses and swallowing as fast as possible, while adults promised it would all be worth it. What grandmothers knew from experience, science has now confirmed. The FDA has approved castor oil as a safe and effective laxative, and studies show its active ingredient, ricinoleic acid, stimulates the intestines and promotes bowel movements. Beyond digestive health, castor oil has been found to have antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. For Black families stretching tight budgets, this inexpensive remedy treated multiple ailments without expensive prescriptions. Which of these beauty secrets did the women in your family swear by? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more memories.